Donald Trump's completely incompetent White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, suffered another one of these humiliating meltdowns. She was asked about the new controversy that Donald Trump has started in claiming that Joe Biden's pardons are void because Biden supposedly used an auto pen to sign the pardons. By the way, something Trump also does. She was asked about it, and here is how Karoline Leavitt responded. And reporters having to explain to her that it is up to her to be able to answer these questions, not for them to do her work for her. Listen to this.
If the president was even consulted about his legally binding signature being signed onto documents. And so I think it's a question that everybody in this room should be looking into, because certainly that would propose perhaps criminal or illegal behavior if staff members were signing the president of the United States autograph without his consent.
Biden is on the record talking about issuing preemptive pardons to these people.
But was he aware of his signature being used on every single pardon? That's a question you should ask the Biden White House.
Is there any evidence on that he wasn't aware of it?
You're a reporter. You should find out. Okay. Sean.
I'm without speech. Karoline Leavitt, when asked, do you have any evidence for the things you've asserted, goes, you're a reporter, you find out. It is Karoline Leavitt's job as the press secretary to make sure what she's saying is true, and to turn it around and say, maybe what I said is true, maybe it isn't. You find out, Caitlin, you're the reporter. This is part of the total disrespect and debasement that we are seeing here in terms of the relationship with media. Are you lying to us, Karoline? Can you tell us any evidence you have for what you're saying? You're a reporter. You find out. Absolutely terrifying. Now, later during the same press briefing, Karoline Leavitt, apparently in one of these Freudian slips, said the following. Take a listen.
We want to restore the Department of Justice to an institution that focuses on fighting law and order.
Did you catch that? We want the Department of Justice to fight law and order, not to fight for it, just to fight it. Did you miss that one? Listen again.
We want to restore the Department of Justice to an institution that focuses on fighting law and order and crime and putting real criminals behind bars, not targeting Americans because of their religion or their political speech. We saw that under the previous administration, and it's unacceptable to this president.
Well, they've achieved that. If the goal was to turn the Department of Justice into an entity that fights law and order, they have certainly done it by weaponizing it in the very way they said Joe Biden was weaponizing it. Consider that. A reporter brought up reports about the Trump administration considering withdrawal from the International Center for the Prosecution of Crime of Aggression against Ukraine, basically saying Trump wants to let Russia get away with it. And Karoline Leavitt goes, there have been many reports floating around.
Thanks. There have been some media reports just in the last few hours that the administration has decided to withdraw from the International Center for the Prosecution of the Crime of Aggression against Ukraine, which is designed to hold Putin accountable for war crimes. Are you able to confirm that? And if that has occurred, why has that occurred?
I'm not able to confirm it because I have not heard that. I will caution. I know there have been many inaccurate and misleading reports from Reuters lately, so I would caution anybody taking that seriously. But I can check in and get.
One of the tools of the authoritarian playbook, one of the chapters out of the authoritarian playbook, is you sow doubt on absolutely everything. Can we trust what you're saying, Karoline? She says to Caitlin Collins, you're a reporter. Go figure it out. Can we trust these reports from historically reliable reporting outlets, Reuters and Associated Press? I don't know anything about it, but I would be very skeptical about accepting anything reported by them. A press secretary who claims just not really to know anything other than a handful of talking points. She's not prepared for briefings. Her reflex is always to either attack the person asking the question or attack the source of the report. You know, Kayleigh McEnany, she lied a lot. Big liar. but she was prepared. You know, we would joke about her stacked binders with the tabs and the whole thing. She was organized in her apologia for Donald Trump. Karoline Leavitt is a completely different sort of disaster. And this is what it would be great to say, we've got to get her out of there and figure out. This is what it is. This is what the press is dealing with. And the press is simply going to have to go around her rather than working with her to try to figure out what the hell this administration is up to. And as if this press briefing wasn't bad enough, she appeared on Fox News last night. Let's talk about that. Winter is the perfect time to cozy up at home with some freshly baked treats like flaky pastries, hearty breads, comforting pastas, and you can do it without any effort. Our sponsor, Wild Grain, is the first Bake from Frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Wild Grain simply takes the hassle out of baking. Everything bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. No mess or cleanup. Your family will be amazed, thinking you've become a master bread baker all of a sudden. My favorite is the croissants. You throw them in the oven, 25 minutes. Wow. If you're ready to bring all your favorite breads, pastas, and pastries right to your doorstep, check out Wild Grain. You can build your box of artisanal pastries, breads, and everything right now. And for a limited time, Wild Grain will give my audience $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/Pacman to start your subscription. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box. The link is in the description.